Hey, what's going on? I appreciate you being here. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Going into today's readings, Martyr of Nagasaki. In 1597, Toyotomi Hideyoshi ordered the crucifixion of 23 Catholics in Nagasaki, Japan. At the time, Christianity was growing in the country. This worried the imperial minister, who thought the missionaries may be leading the way for European invaders. Suspicion grew when a Spanish ship carrying weapons was seized near the coast. Hideyoshi ordered arrest. One of those taken captive was Paul Miki, a gifted preacher and evangelist. Paul came from a wealthy samurai family but traded the comforts of life to join the Jesuits. He was studying to become a priest at the time. Soldiers arrested Paul along with other Catholic men, women, and children, some priests and lay people. 3 were boys. The soldiers forced them to walk more than 600 miles in the bitter cold. Despite the conditions, they prayed and sang hymns. When they arrived in Nagasaki, soldiers nailed them to crosses and stabbed them with spears. As they died, the prisoners called out, "Jesus, Mary." Paul Miki preached from his cross and forgave the men who killed him. Paul was honored to die for Christ. "I am a true Japanese," Paul said. "The only reason for my being killed is that I have taught the doctrine of Christ. I am telling only the truth before I die. I hope my blood will fall on my fellow men as a fruitful rain." Authorities hoped the public display would scare others. It had the opposite effect. It gave them courage. A few years later, persecution forced Japanese Catholics to practice the faith in secret for 250 years. Blessed Pope Pius IX canonized the martyrs of Nagasaki in 1862. The site where they died is known as the Martyrs' Hill. Mark chapter 15, line 21. They pressed into service a passerby, Simon a Cyrenian, who was coming in from the country, the father of Alexander and Rufus, to carry his cross. It was customary to take a zigzagged route to the site of the crucifixion to make a spectacle of the condemned criminal. Jerusalem's streets were narrow and winding and, because of Passover, very crowded. This was the first mention of the cross in Mark's Gospel. Normally, just the cross beam was carried. The vertical beam was already fixed in place at the site. An ominous chord is sounded in that Jesus didn't carry his own cross as was customary. Apparently, he had been beaten so badly in the scourging, he was unable to do this. Think about Simon of Cyrene. It wasn't as though the Roman soldiers had asked for a volunteer and Simon had raised his hand saying, "I'll do it." He was simply passing by, and out of the blue he was pressed into service to carry the cross. A lot of crosses come that way. Why this? Why me? Simon should be the patron of saint for these kind of crosses. He is given no introduction, no farewell. He is never to be seen again. He carried the cross, not knowing why or where he was going, but he wasn't lost. He was following the Lord. Spend some quiet time with the Lord. I appreciate you for being here and look forward to sharing tomorrow's reading with you.